All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to be looking at a brand new guide to the ideas of Viktor Frankl. And these ideas, they're profound, but let's be honest, they're often misunderstood. This comes from an author named Isaac Volpe, and he structured it in a really interesting way, not as a story, but as a kind of dictionary for life. You've probably seen Viktor Frankl's words, right? They pop up on motivational posters all over social media, and yeah, they're super powerful, really inspiring. But what's so often missing is the story, the context of the man whose incredible, almost unbelievable life gave those words their true weight. I mean, take this one for example. It's probably his most famous quote. Between stimulus and response there is a space. It sounds great, doesn't it? It's a nice idea. But here's the thing. Frankl wasn't just sitting in an office theorizing. He tested this very idea under the most extreme, the most brutal circumstances you can possibly imagine. And that's what gives his philosophy such undeniable credibility. So when you look at his life, you can see these core ideas starting to form back in the 1930s. But it was his time in the Nazi concentration camps, from 42 to 45, places like Auschwitz, that truly forged his philosophy. This is where he lost almost everyone he loved, his wife, his parents, his brother. So you see, for him, this wasn't some academic exercise. It was literally a tool for survival.
Okay, so why this book and why now? Well, the author, Isaac Volpe, makes a pretty compelling argument. He says that Frankl's ideas, as powerful as they are, have kind of become diluted in our modern world. And this book, it's all about bringing them back into sharp, usable focus.
And this quote from the author really just nails the problem, doesn't it? We live in a time saturated with explanations, but starved of meaning. Think about it. We have endless information, endless data, all these psychological buzzwords, but so many of us still feel this inner emptiness, this lack of real direction.
And this right here, this really gets to the heart of the issue. What Frankl intended was a framework, a way to hold all the tough parts of life together, freedom and responsibility, suffering and dignity. But what do we do today? We've kind of reduced his profound concepts into these simple, comforting slogans that, honestly, strip them of all their real power.
So what's the solution? Well, what Volpe has done is actually really elegant and super specific. He hasn't written another biography. Instead, he's created a dictionary, a tool you can actually consult when life gets messy.
He even calls the book's structure architectural, which I love. It's not linear. The idea isn't that you have to read it from page 1 to the end. It's more like you can enter through different doors, depending on the specific challenge you're facing. It's a whole system of interconnected ideas, and it's built for practical, real-world use.
So, how do you actually use it? Well, imagine life throws a question at you, a real challenge. You just grab the book, look up a concept that seems relevant, and you get this super clear, precise definition. But then, and this is the best part, you get to engage directly with Frankl's own powerful words. No filters, no paraphrasing. The whole thing is designed to help you find your own way forward.
Okay, let's make this feel a bit more concrete. Let's actually dive into the book and explore 3 really powerful concepts from Frankl's work, structured exactly how you'd find them in this dictionary.
First up is a big one, the existential vacuum. This is Frankl's name for that feeling of meaninglessness he believed was the main neurosis of our time. It's that deep, nagging sense of boredom and inner emptiness that, let's be real, so many of us feel today.
And see, right after you get the clear definition, the book hits you with Frankl's own words. It grounds the concept right back to the source. This is the simple but incredibly powerful rhythm of the whole dictionary.
All right, next up we have self-transcendence. Now, if the existential vacuum is the problem, this is Frankl's solution. He argued that we are fundamentally wired to look outward. Meaning isn't found by navel-gazing, by looking deeper and deeper inside ourselves. It's found by directing ourselves toward a cause we can serve or another person we can love.
And this quote just drives that point home so perfectly. The more one forgets himself, the more human he is. I mean, that's a pretty radical idea, especially in our super self-focused culture, right? The idea that true fulfillment comes as a side effect, a byproduct of forgetting ourselves and focusing on something bigger.
And finally, we have one of his most profound and maybe most challenging concepts, tragic optimism. Now, this is not about blind optimism. It's not about pretending things aren't bad. It's about the uniquely human ability to say yes to life, to find meaning in spite of the inevitable tragic triad of pain, guilt, and death.
And this right here shows you just how realistic and, well, tough Frankl's philosophy really is. It doesn't offer you easy answers or some kind of false comfort. What it offers is strength and dignity in the face of life as it actually is. So, after all that, where does this leave us? Well, the ultimate message of Frankl's work, and the real point of this dictionary, is about making a fundamental shift in how we see things.
And here it is. This is the big paradigm shift. Frankl believed we have it completely backwards. We spend so much of our lives asking, what is the meaning of my life? But Frankl, he flips that script entirely. He says the real question is what life is asking of you in this moment and the next. The responsibility to find an answer, well, that's on us.
And that's really the whole purpose of this book. It's not here to give you the answers. Nope. Instead, it equips you. It gives you the precise vocabulary, the clear concepts, so that you can begin to formulate your own response to life's big questions.
So look, if this whole idea of a deep, responsible search for meaning really resonates with you, then this dictionary is just an incredibly powerful tool to help you sharpen your own thinking. It's called the Viktor Frankl Dictionary, and if you want to begin your own exploration, you can find a link for it right down in the description below.